In a small, dimly lit house on the outskirts of a quiet American town, 72-year-old Eleanor Hayes sat alone at the kitchen table, the same table where she had helped her son, Marcus, with his homework every night for 12 years. The house was quiet now. Too quiet. Eleanor hadn't always been alone. For 30 years, she had been everything: a mother, a father, a friend, and a silent warrior. When her husband walked out without a word, Marcus was just 6 years old. She didn't cry in front of him. She smiled, rolled up her sleeves, and got to work. She cleaned houses during the day. She sewed clothes at night. She skipped meals so Marcus could eat. On his 18th birthday, when a prestigious university accepted him with a partial scholarship, Eleanor sat in the bathroom and wept. Not from sadness, but from relief. All those years, she whispered to herself, they were worth it. To pay the remaining fees, she sold the only gold she had, her wedding bangles, 2 small earrings, and a thin chain her own mother had given her. When Marcus asked, "Mom, are you sure?" she smiled and said, "What would I do with gold? You are my treasure." Marcus left for college. At first, he called every day, then every week, then once a month, then only when he needed something. He graduated, got a good job, married a woman who found Eleanor too old-fashioned. They moved to a bigger city. Eleanor was invited to the wedding. Dressed in her best clothes, she sat in the back row and watched her son dance, realizing he hadn't introduced her to a single guest. She didn't say a word. She just smiled and told herself, "He is happy. That is enough." Years passed. Eleanor's knees grew weak. Her eyesight faded. The heating broke one winter, and she wrapped herself in old blankets rather than ask Marcus for help. She didn't want to be a burden. She told herself every night, "He is busy. He has his own life now. This is what I worked for." One spring morning, Lily, a kind young woman who had recently moved next door and had noticed the lights were rarely on in Eleanor's house, stopped by to check on her. She found Eleanor sitting by the window, holding an old photograph. Marcus as a child, gap-toothed and laughing, arms wrapped tightly around her neck. "Is that your son?" Lily asked softly. Eleanor smiled. "My whole world," she said. "Does he visit?" A long pause, then, "He's very busy." Lily sat with her that afternoon. She brought soup. She listened. And for the first time in years, Eleanor laughed, really laughed, at an old memory of Marcus stealing cookies and blaming the neighbor's cat. That evening, Lily quietly called Marcus. She didn't scold him. She simply said, "Your mother laughed today talking about you. She still calls you her whole world. I thought you should know." The line was silent for a long moment. 3 days later, Marcus appeared at the door. No warning, no occasion. Just him, standing there with tired eyes and a box of her favorite tea. Eleanor didn't ask where he had been. She didn't mention the years of silence. She simply opened the door wider and said, "I'll put the kettle on." That night, as they sat together at the old kitchen table, Marcus looked around the small, worn house, and for the first time really saw it. The peeling paint, the broken heater held together with tape, the empty jewelry box sitting quietly on her dresser. "Mom," his voice broke, "why didn't you ever ask for help?" She looked at him with soft eyes and said, "Watching you fly was enough for me. I just forgot to tell you that sometimes even the one who taught you to fly needs a place to land." Marcus wept that night, for the first time since he was a child. He didn't move her to a home. He fixed her house. He called every day. He visited every month. And every time he left, he hugged her a little longer, as if making up for all the years he hadn't. Eleanor never demanded an apology. She never asked for an explanation. She simply loved him, the way only a mother can, quietly, completely, without condition. Moral: a mother never stops giving, but even she has a heart that aches in silence. Don't wait for a stranger to remind you. Call her, visit her, hold her hand, because one day the phone will ring and no one will answer. The greatest gift you can give your mother is not money. It is your time, your presence, and the simple words, "Mom, I'm here." 70 winters in these quiet rooms, a hollow echo where your laughter bloomed. That little box of gold is empty now, a silent promise from a wedding vow. Watching you fly was enough for me. I forgot to say eventually, even the one who taught you to fly needs a place to lay.